What is up, guys? I wanted to welcome you to part one of this three-part series that I'm putting together. Uh, it has been a long journey of ups and downs in life, as I'm sure many of you are dealing with at the moment. And it's all really a lot of normal stuff for the most part, but there are some things that are probably outside of the norm for some. I know myself included, that I've had some really terrible times and a lot of hurdles to overcome over the years. So part of what I'm trying to accomplish with these videos is just give you some small life hacks that will help you at a fairly lower level. There are some deeper things that we can get into, and I plan on doing so. And there'll be opportunities for you to get involved in something like that as well. But what I really wanted to talk about here, and especially this one being the first one that I'm shooting, was talking about being the CEO of yourself. And so you might be asking yourself, what exactly does that mean, right? Uh, as somebody who has been through a lot and done a lot of studying, done a lot of research, done a lot of reading, and just living my own life, the best I can explain it is, if you have a company, there's always somebody that runs that company, right? But in a lot of cases where we fall short in our lives is we're not always taking control of ourselves, right? But a lot of times what we end up doing in areas where we're falling short is we tend to pick up the slack to help others out. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't want to deter you in any way from putting your best foot forward, helping others, and being the guiding light for others, because I think that's a huge piece of the puzzle. But here's the problem, and what a lot of people forget, and I did this myself, so I'm only speaking to you from experience, right? Is that it's very hard for us to put forth our best efforts and to help others if we're not where we want to be, right? And I'm not talking about financially. Really, most of what I'm going to talk about here relies on what goes on up here, what's between your two ears, right? Because once we become masters of our mind, once we take control, or in this case, when I'm talking about becoming the CEO of you, then all the other pieces of your life can fall into place. And I talk to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of business owners, and I talk to a lot of high level business owners about this very thing, because it's very hard to operate at a very high level if you're not conquering your own demons and your own issues and your own hurdles and your own potholes, so to speak, right? So some of the things that I've used, right, is I've worked a lot on some self-development stuff. I've done a lot of reading, is very helpful. Setting up a morning routine is probably the number one thing I could suggest to you. And it's probably the number one bullet point I'm going to leave you with in this video is get really intentional about taking care of yourself, right? Your physical, your part of getting mental clarity is the physical side. So what I've done is personally is I set up a routine. I get up about 5 a.m. every day. I read, I feed my dogs, I have my coffee, I go to the gym. I go to the gym 5 to 6 days a week. And that was one of the first things that I was able to do to really help give me some mental clarity. Because you have to understand something too, like I'm not naive. What ends up happening a lot of times with us is that we're trying to always find these quick fixes in these things. And a lot of times these things cost us, a bunch of money as well to make changes, because you need to pay for programs and other things. But the truth be told, like, if there's one thing I can give you that had really changed the trajectory of my life, is a morning routine. And that's something that you can implement tomorrow. Like, it's not something you have to be, have to think too much about it. Now, if you're somebody that's not an early riser, I don't suggest trying to shave 2 hours off of your sleeping schedule right away. First thing I would say is, start small, right? So if you're somebody that wakes up at 8 a.m., maybe you try waking up at 7:30 a.m. and then you slowly progress it down to where you're getting up at an earlier hour. Now, everybody's work schedules are different, so this may not comply, but it's the same concept no matter what the timing is, right? For me, I like to get my day started early because I have business stuff to take care of. And generally speaking, if I'm up at 5 and I'm at the gym and I have most of my stuff I have more done by 9 a.m. than a lot of people do in an entire day, and that's just a fact. Now, I'm not telling you that's what you need to do, um, nor am I suggesting it, but what I am suggesting is that once you start being intentional with your time, once you start putting forth the efforts in these areas of your life, you will start to see a lot of clarity. Things are going to start to open up. More than likely, if you're up at that time of the day, for me, I'm a family man. I'm the first one up in my home. Kids are not awake. I'm home. I'm basically up by myself for hours, so I have that time to think. And when it's first thing in the morning, you don't have anything clouding your judgment. You don't have anything clouding your mind. So it's real easy to kind of thought audit and go through some things. Another tool that I use on top of that is I use note-taking apps. Doesn't matter which one you use. There's Evernote. If you have an iPhone, you have a notes-taking app on your phone, comes with it. It's all free. But what I would say to you is alongside this process of starting a morning routine is start taking notes. Like, we all have thoughts and stuff throughout the day. Our brains really don't stop. If you think about it, it's a continuous, it's perpetual motion all the time. And what ends up happening, and I know this happens for me, is that I can come up with some fantastic ideas. And this doesn't have to be about, there's not a monetary idea or whatever. It could be an idea about a date night, right? But if I don't write it down with all the other decisions I have to make in a day, with all the other thoughts that come through my mind in a day, if I don't write that thing down, if I'm not documenting it, it's gone. So in conjunction with building your morning routine and starting on, building this, becoming the CEO of you, start note taking. When you come across something that is profound, right? And it could be profound to you. It doesn't matter. There's levels to this game, right? Like if you're someone that's at the lower level and you're just now learning to like podcast and read and change your life in that way, maybe you're not a business owner, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It all can work for everybody. You want to start at these baseline levels, and so like I've said to many people, and the truth is this is this way in every aspect of your life, right? If you don't build a solid foundation, it's very hard to build a solid structure on top of it. So basically what we're doing here is we're building the foundation of who you are and your life. And when I say CEO, I'm not talking about business. This is you. We're trying to build the strongest version of you, but we have to start small, right? And in some cases, we've advanced so much in life that we sometimes have to knock down or dismantle a lot of what we learn to rebuild it back, right? And build it back stronger. I would normally say build back better, but I'm not going to do that. But the truth is, these couple of steps, if you do them together and you implement, again, I'm not saying this is not going to happen overnight. It's things that take time to implement. At this point, I've been doing them for probably about 4 years, 5 years, give or take. So it's really easy for me. Actually, in a lot of cases, I don't even have to have an alarm clock anymore because my body is just so used to the rhythm of my body is so used to waking up. So I'm pretty much up. And I'm also a fairly light sleeper. But if you can find the time to implement these things, I guarantee you will see extraordinary changes in your life. You will start to take control of you, right? And again, I want to go back to what I said earlier about not pouring into others. Like you definitely want to continue to pour into others, but think about this for 1 second. You cannot pour into other people if you're empty. It's just a fact. You can try, and in some cases I've done it, but how are you going to sit there and pour into others when you're not where you want to be? You have to think about that, because you have to ask yourself how important it is to have the life that you want to live, right? So in order to be your best or at your best, you have to be performing at your best. And that's what we're working on here. And by implementing these things now, if you're not a gym person or you're not looking to me, I'm telling you right now, there is a strong relationship between changing your body, working out, exercise, and your mental clarity. It just is, it's scientific. I don't have the data in front of me, but I'm guarantee you, if you go and look this up and you listen to other people and how they speak, they'll be the first ones to tell you what I'm telling you is true. So there's definitely a direct correlation between the clarity that you're looking for and the taking control of your life and exercise and routine and all that other stuff. So I like mornings. I'm not saying to you that mornings have to be your thing. That just works for me. You know, there's many ways to skin there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say, right? So, you know, you got to find what works for you. Either way, start implementing these things. Start note taking. You know, go on dates. Be intentional with your time. Be intentional with the people in your life, and start taking control of your life. And I'm telling you, I'm putting a guaranteed stamp on it. If you do the things that I'm telling you to do in this video, you will see massive, massive, massive results. I'm speaking to you from someone who's living it. I'm living it right now as I'm recording this video for you to play. I'm living in that world right now. I'm literally living it every single day. So you're not alone in this process. You guys are here in this group, or whoever ends up watching this. I'm always available. You can always message me. What would be great, if you want to get more information on this, if you want to get deeper into this, fill out the application that's provided. You know, I can further help you build that bridge, right? What we're trying to do is, you know, we're trying to get from A to Z, and in doing that, we have to build that gap. So, you know, life's full of mental hurdles, and the idea here is to get you from where you are now to where you're trying to go. And that's where I come in. I'm going to do my best to help you out and provide you all of the tools that you could possibly need to get to that next level. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. There'll be 2 more behind this one. Enjoy. Like I said, sign up on the application below. Enjoy. Have a great day.